so much stuff floating around. I don't know. People trying to say they wasn't together.
Basically was trying to get into a threesome. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another experience known as Kay and Manny. I am the one they call Manny. She is the lady of all K's. And we're going to talk about a subject that probably needs to be talked about more often, especially with how 2020 went. And that subject is called cancel culture. Now, before we jump into this,
yes.
What do you know about cancel culture just off the top of your head?
Well, before I go into cancel culture, I just want to tell everyone good morning, good morning, good morning. And thank you for faithfully watching us at 11 a.m. or every Saturday. So appreciative. So about cancel culture, Manny, I just know that you do any little thing and your ass is off the grid. And this is for people that, that's in high places, celebrities, and again, it's going back to if you do anything wrong, you're canceled.
Well, yeah, cancel culture is basically, canceling somebody. Well, I'm going to give you actual definitions of, let's just say I'm going to give the white people's definition, aka Wikipedia, and I'm going to give the black people's definition, aka Urban Dictionary. Okay. Let's start with Wikipedia, shall we? Wikipedia basically says that cancel culture is a modern form of ostracism in which someone is thrust out of social and professional circles, either online or on social media, in the real world, or both.
Right.
Those who are subject to this ostracism are said to be canceled. Got that?
I got that.
Black people's version. Basically is to dismiss someone or somebody and to reject an individual or an idea. And when people use the term unironically, I hope I said that right, it reveals a big problem with our culture. Cancel culture is, as it currently exists, does not give people the chance to learn from their mistakes or apologize for their wrongdoings.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, cancel culture in 2021/2020. So basically give you kind of a synopsis of who is canceled. R. Kelly, Columbus, Tory Lanez, Ellen DeGeneres, J.K. Rowling.
Wait, you said who's
Fashion?
You said Ellen? Did you say Ellen?
Yeah, Ellen. I mean, they tried to get Ellen DeGeneres the hell out of here.
They tried it, but people love her so much.
Correct, but I'll explain in just a moment.
Go ahead, because I got something to say.
Okay, I know. But let's start with the obvious celebrity that got canceled and probably still is canceled to this day. Robert Kelly. Now, we all know who he is. R&B singer for 30 plus years. Made a lot of, can I say, baby making classics? That just sounds weird. That just sounds weird saying it now, especially talking about him. Just,
right, and then knowing what happened.
You know what I mean?
It's like, okay. But can I say something, Manny, real quick?
Go for it.
I know that,
Now I got to shower after this podcast. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Just me saying that just a moment ago just makes me, just made me feel
right. Right, because now it's like, dang, I'm kind of putting two together what he was talking about. But, even though we're disgusted with him, I always say this about a lot of people, and I know this is a debate, but it's not like I'm trying to, I'm not trying to, make him like stand up for him. No, that's not what I'm doing. But what I do want to say sometimes, in certain areas, we excel. Like, let's just give credit when credit is due. When it came to the music type, he was a genius behind the music. Oh my gosh, he made plethora of hits. You know what I'm saying? I give that to him, right? Yeah. And that's that one area that I always say people are so proficient in and they excel. And, they make something for themselves. They make a name for themselves. But in other areas of their life, They ain't together. But this goes back to my theory, what I keep telling people. It don't matter what type of celebrity you are, because at the end of the day, when you finish with your profession and you go home behind closed doors, you are who you are. And they're like, you just said his government name. He is R. Kelly. He is Robert Kelly. When he goes home, he's R. Kelly to the world. But at home, Robert got issues. So I want to know, why do people feel like people ain't got issues? Because obviously it's a mental issue because of what happened to him. And they always say someone that's the abuser, at one time they was the abusee. Again, not sticking up for him. He got issues, but let's just go back to the fact that we are all human. And you just got to pull, if you think about it, you just sometimes got to pull back the layers and say, oh, he's so great because he's X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah, awesome. Love that part. But when a person mess up, y'all just so quick to ridicule. When you really want to think about it, if they wasn't popular, they'll be doing the same shit and they wouldn't be getting exposed as much. And I think that's what it's all about. Because when you're at a certain level and the exposure is so quick to say you're canceled. Versus if you use the average Joe, it's like nobody cares about you. And that's just part of the social economic setup. That's how I feel about that.
Now, one thing I will say about the whole R. Kelly situation and why some people will still say he's out of there. Now, granted, to your point, a lot of people do say, well, I could separate R. Kelly the man versus R. Kelly the musician. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people who say that. Now, me, I think they're one and the same. You can't have one without the other. Right?
I get it.
So my point of view is, listen, we what he did, and let me go back, let me backtrack real quick.
Right.
The reason why everyone is canceling R. Kelly because everybody knows that R. Kelly did what he did. Now, I'll put case in point. My barber's from Chicago, okay? And technically, we've had this conversation before, and he was saying like, oh man, everyone knew he was doing that. So it was basically an urban legend in Chicago that R. Kelly was being nasty. And then on top of that, now you got this documentary called Surviving R. Kelly, which I only made through 2 episodes of that. I couldn't watch any further than that because it was just...
I saw it. It was...
I only made it through 2 episodes. I couldn't see the rest of it. I'm just saying.
Can I say something else, Manny? Because you just said something that said, wow, this goes back to the show topic that I did last month. If everybody remember, and if you did not watch, please go back and watch when I was interviewing Miss Deborah Kofer. Right. And I put a statement out there how it's so amazing how people are so quick to protect the predator, but they don't protect the innocent. And you see, that statement is still applicable to here. You said they knew and they did nothing about it. Why? Because
whoa, hold on. I don't think they say I didn't say they knew. They say
some people knew. No, some people knew. Like the people that's right now that's coming out. Listen,
some people did know, but they didn't do anything.
The people that's coming out and talking. Hold on, let me say something. The people that's coming out and talking and saying something now, and they're like, yeah, I saw, Kelly do X, Y, and Z, but I try and look the other way. And that's because he was, and let's go back to the psychology of it. What I said, he had the power, he had the money. So I ain't messing up my money. Let me just turn my head real quick because, he got all these girls in here, and y'all know those girls are underage. Come on now.
I mean, they may not look underage, but they're still underage.
Exactly.
Just saying. But let's kind of deviate from R. Kelly because obviously that's the obvious. Let's talk about
that's an all-day conversation right there. We're going to watch that all day.
that is an all-day conversation, basically. But let's talk about another person that people try to get the hell out of here. Ellen DeGeneres. Now, let me explain, because this was somewhat of a sticky situation. And the reason why I say it's a sticky situation is because, well, let's just be real. Ellen DeGeneres is not the greatest person to work with. I mean, we've all had jobs before, and we all thought our boss was an ass. Let's just call it what it is. And basically, that's what everyone's saying that Ellen DeGeneres was, allegedly, that Ellen DeGeneres is not the best boss to have. I mean, she's bossy, quote unquote, no pun intended. And on top of that, she's just not a nice person that she portrays herself on television. Now, this got out. Some old co-workers co-signed. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook had a field day.
Right.
All try to get Ellen DeGeneres out of here. Now, you had something to say about Ellen DeGeneres. What did you want to say about it?
I just want to know, why do people think like when someone is a celebrity and then the spotlight, like automatically everyone is nice? I'm not trying to say what she did is excusable, but let's go back to what I was just saying. Again, everybody know how she was, and that's a job that you have when you go to your job. If Ellen was who she wasn't and she was just some average Joe, they were still saying that my boss is a piece of, and I can't stand my... You understand what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. So all I have to say is, again, I'm not defending her. I'm not defending none of these people. I'm just saying, why do people think everybody's supposed to be nice and warm and welcoming? And that's not the case. I don't. But here's the thing too, right? Here's the thing too, and I'm definitely got to bring this up. There's a different cancel culture between the African American community and the Caucasian community, and that's just real talk. That's just real talk. Let's go there. Let's talk about that part that nobody wants to talk about. I don't want to jump too ahead because I know we're talking on Ellen, but the young gentleman, because this is how y'all know that I'm not a sport person. It's at the tip of my tongue, but I cannot think of his name. The young gentleman, I think, Michael Vick. There you go. He had that big dog. They ridiculed Michael Vick, tore his career up. When there's other people, hold on, let's go back to what I said. There's other people doing the same thing underground, not getting ridiculed. And when he tried to come and make his way back, that shut Michael Vick down.
But also, let's look at it. I mean, I can take it a step further.
Go ahead.
Granted, they did what they did with Mike Vick. Mike Vick persevered, and now look where he's at.
Right.
But let's also look at it this way. There was another football player, I can't think of his name, but he was a kicker who was a reported wife beater. But they kept giving him a job. And then when it came out, the Giants cut him. And to this day, I don't think he still has a job. But that just goes to show how people are more forgiving on one race than the other race.
Right.
Here's another fact that a lot of people don't know. I'm very sure you heard of these players, Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb. You know those? Okay. So our forefathers of baseball, they weren't the greatest people either.
Right.
They weren't. Right. And then I'll bring another icon to the factor. And I'm probably gonna get killed for saying this, but oh well, Michael Jordan. We all saw in The Last Dance that Mike, he was a great teammate, but he wasn't there were times where he was a great teammate. There were times where he wasn't such a great teammate. I mean, there are stories of him. He basically punched Will Perdue, and that was alleged. But what really did happen, he even admitted he punched Steve Kerr in the face.
That's crazy.
Yes, that's Steve Kerr. That's now the coach of the Warriors. But to his credit, his passion for winning was so great that anything, he was willing to go to any lengths to get it. Now, some players are willing to roll with that, and then there's some players that wasn't. And the reason why I say it is because I heard a podcast, Club Shay Shay, even though this is free advertisement, where it was interviewing Gilbert Arenas, a player for the Washington Wizards. And a lot of the players, before he came to the team, they were saying how we hate playing with Mike. But what they didn't understand was, and this is the younger crowd, that Mike's passion for the game was insurmountable to where nobody but him can fulfill it.
What? There's different levels to like that we don't understand, but there's different levels behind the scene. And going back to what I was saying earlier, yes, sometimes we don't know how a person is behind closed doors. But I think with a lot of these people that's tied to these individuals, they expect you to conduct yourself a certain way. Is this the same way as when you go to work every day? Yeah, you got your personal stuff, but they said leave your personal stuff at the door and bring your expertise. And I think sometimes when people get that little fame into their head, they just feel like they're untouchable and they can do whatever they want. And then sometimes you have to have that dose of reality to make you humble again, because if not, then you're going to continue doing what you're doing. So sometimes cancel culture is great because it's going to make you reflect on your behavior. Now, here's the thing, right? Mm-hmm. Do I believe you deserve forgiveness? Absolutely. I believe you deserve forgiveness. And we all know the Father above, he forgive you. You know, if you're his child and you're humble with it and you confess yourself to him and his son, he forgives you. But guess what? He can forgive you, but for the world to accept your apology, and I know we got to go real quick, but I just got to interject this. Chris Brown, I'm not making no excuses for him, but he was young when he put his hands on Rihanna. And, you know, when he was trying to make his comeback, it was like, you saw the struggle. Like, some people accepted, some people didn't.
It took a while for him to come back to where he is now.
Right. And I just have to say this. Y'all all know I'm a huge advocate for domestic violence. I do not tolerate it. But do I think the abuser can eventually come to their senses and get treated and get help? I do, but they have to want it. Before they want it, they have to acknowledge it. So, you know, I just think, you know, there's a lesson to be learned in all of this. Some stuff is like, okay, you know, you should know better. Than other stuff is like, you're sick. But that just goes back to people, history. And again, at the end of the day, Manny, we're just all human beings out here trying to excel. Some people know what they're doing. They know what they're doing intentionally. Those people you need, I can't say that on air, but for the people who genuinely say, you know what, I'm sorry, can you give me another chance? I feel we should give them another chance.
Right. I mean, the court of public opinion is very less forgiving. However, our God above is very forgiving. But, absolutely. I mean, we can give a whole bunch of different examples of who people cancel, and for good reasons sometimes, like Kevin Spacey. I hate saying it, some people are going to kill me for this, Bill Cosby.
Right.
I mean, but a lot of times, I mean, and those are two different examples from two different worlds.
Absolutely.
That the whole cancel thing has literally was equal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though one no longer has a job and the other was in prison. I mean, I don't know if the ends justify the means, but you be the judge. Matter of fact, here's the thing. Why don't y'all drop a comment and tell us what you think about cancel culture and who else needs to be canceled? Like, what is his name? Donald Trump?
Look, yeah. Listen. They before Biden came into the chair, they was working on a second impeachment. Listen, if you've been in the chair for 4 years and they're working on a second impeachment and you're just like weeks away from being kicked out because right now Joe Biden is president, that just speaks volume right there about you and your character. You see what I'm saying? It goes back to your character. Yeah. You are who you are behind closed doors, but Donald Trump can't hide who he is. You know why, guys? Because he's a narcissist. So we're going to end on that note. Good. So we are definitely going to...
Hold on, but yeah, we're going to definitely end on that because we can go on and on as we did before, but we're not going to go there. But right. We want to thank you for tuning in to Kay and Manny. Make sure you I can't talk right now. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell so you don't miss a video. If you're tuning us on YouTube, you're tuning us on Instagram, run those likes up, hit the heart. Make sure you tell a friend, tell that friend to tell another friend, and tell that other friend to tell another friend, and they also will tell another friend. If you see us on Facebook, make sure you like and comment. All right, and follow us on Lady Kay on the Lady Kay podcast. Okay, Lady Kay, you want to tell? Yes. You want to tell something else?
I I want to say, like Manny said, he said comment, right? So that means this show is over. So I'm going to need y'all to go to the Facebook page right now and tell us what you think about the cancel culture, because we're waiting for you over there. Tell us. We want to hear from you, and continue to follow us at the Lady K Chat podcast here on YouTube and IG, Facebook, and we're also on Apple and Spotify, and on our website at www.ladykay, and K is spelled Kay, enterprises.com. I'm going to say that for you one more time. www.ladykyenterprises.com. And everyone, you enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Lady K.